Welcome to the webinar. You have entered as an attendee in listen-only mode.
Okay. Now, objects 2 dot I pi and b. Right, sir. So whatever class which I have written over here, let me try to write it. Okay. Properties in Python. So this is my class. Same class, whatever I've written there, I'm basically trying to write it. And now over here, I'll try to tell that m is equals to movie of title is equals to Iron Man. Okay. And language is equals to English. Right? Now let me just try to print m. Venta peratna? Yeah. What is the base class of all classes? Object. See, in object we have an interesting method which is called as double underscore str. Okay, that is under str. That means a string representation of anything. String representation of anything. So what I'll do is I'll try to write something like def. Okay, let me not do this. ఇప్పుడు ఫస్ట్ ఒక దాని తర్వాత ఒకటి ఫిక్స్ చేద్దాం సో దట్ విల్ అండర్స్టాండ్ certain things. Now over here, what is it I'm trying to do? Def double underscore str. Okay, and then here I'll try to tell return what is the movie name. Okay, let me try to write f string of self dot title, and then self dot language. Okay, and now let me try to do the same example. One was without that str, the second one is with str. When you print m, here you get object, but here what is it I've done? I have changed the behavior. I have derived from my parent class and I have changed my behavior. So that's a, this is basically something which we refer as overriding. This function was not created by me. This is a function which is present in object. If you remember yesterday, we have deposit method. So I can use the same deposit in savings account, or if I want, I can change it. So this is the string representation of it. So whenever you try to print anything, this function will be called, and whatever is present inside that will be returned. Okay. So now if you don't want to do anything, అసలు నేను ఇదేం చేయదలుచుకోలేదు, పైన పేరెంట్ ఏముందో అది కాల్ చేయాలనుకోండి, రిటర్న్ సూపర్ అంటే go to the parent and inside that call str function. I should be doing this. This means that I am not doing anything. Whatever is in the parent will be called. Super ante parent. Okay. Just like how sub is subclass. We are referring about child. Super basically means that parent. Okay. So in some languages, this is also referred as base. I am not worried about it. But are we clear on this, sir? So generally for debugging, this is a better way, because you will, if looking at this, how will you know what movie are we speaking about? దీన్ని చూసి అసలు ఏ మూవీ చెప్పగలమా మనం? Because I might be dealing with thousands of movies. That's the reason we basically try to write this method. Clear? So now can I use this over here? So is the movie done? Yeah, right. And it is not necessary that you have to basically try to write all of your stuff over here. So like what I'll try to do is this is my movie folder, and in movie folder I'll be trying to add movie.py. Am I clear on this, sir? Or what is it we are trying to do? We are trying to book, right? So this is something which I'll call it as booking or ticketing anno poni edo pair. Okay. Now if you want to consider it as a package, what is it you need to do? You need to add this file which is called as _init dot. That's it. Empty file. You need not do anything fancy over here. Okay. Right. Now in the same property, if you want to basically allow the user to set the value, what you need to do is you need to basically try to write @value dot setter. So over here you should be writing something like @title dot setter. And then here generally you will be trying to basically write a function where you try to tell that title of self comma whatever value is passed, and then you will be trying to tell that self dot oh, now what would happen is you can also set the value and you can also get the value. మనకి దీంతో పని లేదు, బట్ చేయాలంటే ఎలాగని చూపిద్దని చెప్పాను. Okay, right, fine sir. Are we clear on this, sir? Ideally you should not be exposing your members to the outside world. You should be exposing only by properties. Okay, right. So this is a movie now. Okay, and let me try to call it as ticketing.py, and in this class in this module I'll try to define multiple classes. It is not necessary that you need to have one class per module. You can define as many as you want. So right, so this module has classes for theater related stuff. So దీన్ని ticketing అని కాకుండా theater అని rename చేద్దాం. Okay, so the first thing, let me try to create class seat. Okay, right, this class represents a seat. So for seat I am trying to basically define three simple properties. Okay, so define _init and self comma, let me try to give what will seat have, row, and then seat number. Okay, fine then. So I'll try to tell that self dot, then normal property will write leather because I don't have more time, so I'm just trying to directly write the stuff. Ideally I should be creating properties over here. Self dot number is equals to number. That so in the row I might have a, in the number I might have 5, which means that my seat number is a5. That's basically what I mean by that. Okay, now after that, class screen. So this class represents screen. Okay, first let us try to define basic things, then we will try to go ahead with others. Init, and then in the screen, what is that you would have? So let me try to tell that in the screen, let me try to give name to the screen. Okay, and what else? Okay, initially let me have name. So self dot name is equals to name, and then self dot seats is equals to an empty array, a list. I will try to add the seats over here. Define add seats, okay, of star arcs. Star arcs అని నేర్చుకున్నాం మనం. Yeah, right. Or if you don't want to do that, you can try to tell that add seat, and then try to tell that this is a seat which you want to add, and then self dot seats dot append of seat. So this method will basically try to add something like a seat. Okay. ఏం మిస్ చేసాం మనం ఇక్కడ? ఓ సెల్ఫ్ లేదా? రైట్, ఫైన్, మేక్ సెన్స్. Yeah, right. So I have a screen, and in the screen I can add seats. And దీని బాధ ఏంటి? Okay, missing doc string. Okay, fine then. I'll try to empty doc strings, but we'll try to fix that later. Okay, is it done? If there are any other methods that are required, I'll try to add it, because I would not know all the seats in the beginning. I'll be trying to tell that this is what you need to create. Okay, now seats అయిపోయినాయి, screen అయిపోయింది, ఇంకేం కావాలి? What are the things which you have realized? Theater. The theater will have screens. Okay, so class theater, and then okay sir, define double underscore in it, and theater ki emunte name untundi. Okay, self dot name is equals to name, and in the theater what is it we will have? We'll have screens, and let me try to give a empty list to start with, because it might have multiple screens. Okay, now in the same way, define add screen of self comma screen. Ideal ga ee code koncham better ga undali, but that's okay. Self dot screens dot append of screen. Okay, done. Okay, right sir. Now what else? What are the other things? I need booking, payment, and screening. Screening is in which screen, at what time, which movie is being played, okay, or which movie is being shown. So now let me try to speak about bookings dot py. So you can arrange your classes in different modules, and it is not necessary that there should be only one class per module. You can do anything like that. In the world of Java, you're supposed to have only one class per .java file. Yeah, okay. Now ticketing classes, fine. So class screening. So whenever you are screening, what are the things which you require? Okay, right. So I'll be trying to tell that self dot. So you need to basically try to tell that for which theater, okay, and what screen are you trying to add screening, and what is the movie. Ideally these are the things. So but I'll not do anything over here. Over here I'll just add theater. So self dot theater, okay, and self dot what is movie equals to movie. Okay. Right. Fine. Now I'll try to tell that define add show time. Over here, what you need to do is you have given theater, that is fine. Now tell me what is the screen index. So in which screen are we basically trying to add that? And the next thing is show underscore time. Okay. I'll not be adding code to this. I'm just trying to roughly give you the overview. So now from this function, can I add show time? Yes. Okay. Right. Now this is done. So what is left now? Class booking. Okay. So I have forgot one important ingredient. ఓకే, ఈ మొత్తంలో ఒకటి ఇంపార్టెంట్, ఈ కథ మొత్తంలో. In all of this, there is one thing which is important which you have missed. User. Okay, right. So define double underscore in it. Let me try to user కి only name email పెడదాం లేండి, ఇంకా అంతకు మించి నాకు చావలేను ఇప్పుడు. Right. So username and email. So self dot okay, right. ప్రస్తుతానికి అంతకు మించి అవసరం లేదు. Right. Whenever I am trying to do the booking, so what I need to do is define double underscore in it. So booking is done for what? Booking is done for a user. Okay, and then you need to figure out a screening. Okay, right. So then you will be basically trying to do the booking. Okay, or అసలు ఇదంతా ఏమి చేయకుండా ఇది కూడా అవసరం లేదు, కరెక్ట్ మాట్లాడుకుంటే. Define book underscore ticket of self comma user. Okay, and theater. Okay, right. 1 minute screening. Okay, and seat. He should tell which seat he has to do, and also he needs to give me some payment related information. Antena? Yes. Now in the same way, I'll try to have a class payment. This is all about what is the payment which is done by. Okay, define. Okay, something like payment done by which user. Okay, and what is the amount. Okay, now over here, if this method basically approves that the payment is done, then the ticket will be booked. Okay, so do I have multiple classes now? Yes. Right. Now let me try to I don't want to get into too much deeper into mode of payment, ఎందుకంటే మనం రాసే dummy code. Now what I'll try to do is, if I want to use this, so first thing what we'll try to do is, let us create a user. So to create a user, what is it I need to do? From ticketing dot movie import user. And then because I have a folder called as ticketing, in that there is a class called module called as movie, and in that movie I have created something called as user. Now let me try to call it as user1, or user underscore 1 is equals to user of, what are the things which I need to pass? Username. So let me try to call it as xyz1. and email is xyz1@gmail.com. So similarly, I'm creating one more user. Okay, xyz2 and xyz. So did we create a user, sir? Yeah. Now, ideally, admin will create this activity, but let us try to ask admin to create a theater. So let me try to create a Gokul theater because that is the nearest one. So now I need theater. So where will I get theater from? There is a folder called as ticketing. In that there is a module called as theater. In that I have written a class which is called as, okay. Now theater of, okay, name is, okay. Now if you basically try to get into theater, after that what is that I need to do? I need to add a screen. So let me basically go with single underscore screen. Where will I get screen from? Again, from ticketing dot theater. I have imported theater, but there all you have one more thing which is called as screen. And obviously I'll be using one more thing which is called as seats. Right. Now single screen is equals to new screen of, what is that I need to? I need to give name. So single screen. Okay. Now what is that I need to do? Single screen dot add seats, but I don't have seats. So what I'll try to do is I'll try to do for ఊరినే రఫ్గా ఏదో 10-15 యాడ్ చేద్దాం ఫర్ ఇండెక్స్ ఇన్ రేంజ్ ఆఫ్ 10 100 యాడ్ చేద్దాం. Let us assume that this is a 100 seater. Okay, ideally I should be arranged, but I am giving a sequential names. Okay, so seat is equals to seat of, what is that I need to? I need to give row. So అంతా ఒకటే రో అనుకుందాం A, and what is the number? Number is index. So let me try to write 0 ఉండదు కాబట్టి let me try to write 1 to 101. Ideally what I should be doing is I'll be trying to write 1 to 10, and for row in A B C D E F G H I J K L M N ఇలాంటిది ఏదో చేద్దాం. Now after this seat is equals to, here I'll be trying to write row. So first time I'll get A, and I'll be getting 1 to 10 ఎక్కడ ఉంటాయండి, మినిమం 20 ఉంటాయి. Yeah, 21, because this will give only till 90. Is it done? Okay. Now over here, all I have to do is single screen dot add theater seats add అయిపోయినాయా? Yes. Okay. Now the what is the stuff created at theater? I have added seats, and now I need to add a screen. Gokul dot add screen, and then let me try to tell that right now we have only single screen. Now create a screening. Screening is what time which movie is being played. Okay, so for that I need to create a movie. Okay, did I import movie? No. User comma movie. So M is equals to movie of title. Okay, let me go with Iron Man itself. Gokullo Iron Man నాకు తెలిసి ఆడలేదు ఎప్పుడు. Okay, fine then. Okay, so this is a movie. Now what I'll try to do is I need to import screening. So for screening what I need to do is from ticketing dot bookings, import, screening, ఆ తర్వాత ఇంకేముంటుంది, booking, and also I need payments. At this moment I don't need it, but eventually I'll be trying to add all of them. Okay, now okay, సో మనకు తెలిసిన పదాలు రాసుకుందాం. ఓకే, పొద్దున్న జరిగే షోని ఏమంటాం, నూన్ షో, మార్నింగ్ షో, రైట్. ఆ తర్వాత నూన్ షో, కాదండి, నూన్ షో మార్నింగ్ షో ఒకటే కాదా, నూన్ షో, మ్యాట్నీ, ఫస్ట్ షో అండ్ సెకండ్ షో. ఐ డోంట్ నో, అట్లీస్ట్ దట్ ఈస్ వాట్ వి యూస్ టు కాల్. నూన్ అంటే 11 అవుతుంది కదా, 11ంటికి మార్నింగ్ అని ఎలా అంటాం, రైట్. ఫైన్ దెన్, సో noon show is equals to screening of, okay, name, oh, screening, screening of theater, Gokul, and what is the movie, M అని ఎందుకు, ఐరన్ మ్యాన్ అనే అందాం. ఓకే, రైట్. నౌ so what is it I need to do, screening dot add show time. So what is the screen index, 0. What is the show time, 11:15 AM. అయిపోయిందా, రైట్. So ideally, if I have to have different movies per show time, then I also need to accept movie in the show time method. Present my assumption is ఈ థియేటర్లో 4 ఆటలు ఒకే సినిమా ఆడతాయి, but this might not work out when you're dealing with a multiplex, but that's okay, at least. So 2:15 PM. So screening dot add show time of, okay, to the same screen, right now we have a single screen, yes. So 6:15 PM and screening dot add show time of 0 and 9:15 PM. Okay, screening is also done. Now what is pending, booking. Okay, so for me to do bookings, what is it I need to do, I need to book a ticket, and for that I have to do the payment, and in payment I have to basically try to do this stuff. So let's create a booking. So how do I do, okay, for booking what is that it needs, it basically doesn't need anything, book ticket. For booking ticket I need to tell the username, so I have user1, and I need to basically give the screening, so I'll be trying to tell this is the screening. Ideally I should be taking the show time also, but that's okay, I'm roughly, that's fine. So what is the seat which you have basically tried to take, so let us assume that Gokul dot screens of 0 dot, ఒక్క నిమిషం, let me go with screen. Screen లో సీట్స్ ఉన్నాయి కదా మరి, yeah, fine. Screens of 0 dot seats of 0, and what is the payment, I have not done the payment yet, so P is equals to payment of P dot payment done, and let us assume that I am trying to tell that this is the payment that is done by user1 for 200 rupees, and then let me add a, అయిపోయిందా. So whenever you are trying to run book my show, some code like this will be executing and then basically storing your information to the database. Okay, but if you try to see, this was for a Gokul theater. Now, if you have to do the same job for a data of your choice, can we do it or not? Can we add A and B mall here? So all I need to do is, I need to basically create a theater called as A and B mall. In that I'll be adding 10 screens. In that I'll be adding 10 screenings. And then whenever I want to book ticket, I'll be basically trying to do this activity. Now, first time whenever you're doing only for one example, it looks little bit of strange. But as you see, now if I try to run it on some server where I'm allowing it to book any movie tickets, will it not be scaling? Will it not be easy? Okay. Now just think that if I had to do the same thing like how I have written the prime number by writing only functions, this would be difficult to organize. But over here, we have individual classes doing the job for us. That's the reason everything became simple. ఇది ఎందుకు ఎడుతుందంటే దీనికి ఎడుతుంది డాక్ స్ట్రింగ్ లేవు. ఓకే, ప్రస్తుతానికి ఓకే. ఎక్కడేంటి బాధ? అన్నెసరీ పాస్ స్టేట్మెంటా? ఓకే, ఫైన్ దెన్. Right, sir? So if you try to see, even if you have one warning, file color ఇక్కడ green గా కాకుండా వేరే కలర్ గా కనబడుతుంది. If you have basically installed extensions of what I have recommended. So is it making sense? Okay. It might have taken a lot of time for me to write this. Now let us assume that I want to add one more data. I want to add 10 more users. I want to add 20 more screens. Will it be really difficult for me to do that now? Yes, because object-oriented programming by default itself is what do you call extensible, and it scales because it is readable in nature. That's the basic idea of it. Am I clear on this, sir? Does it make sense? So whatever we have learned yesterday, is it looking okay now? Yeah. All I have to do is I have to do these classes. Initially, this looks tricky, but try to think that this is used by for creating too many theaters. You have to create at least 100 theaters per city, and totally you have 500 cities to deal with. Now this kind of programming is easier to handle. Okay, and whenever you are trying to work on logics, it will be easy because that is how it would be working on. Am I clear on this? Yeah, right. But ideally what I've done is my classes are not actually accurate. Okay, so what I should be doing is I should be defining properties for all of them. I should be having all the necessary methods. I have not written the overloaded forms. So for example, while I'm booking the ticket, I am giving screening. Okay, so I'm giving seat, I'm giving payment. That is fine. When I'm trying to add showtime, I'm not taking movie, because in a theater it is possible that 4 time slots might be playing 4 different movies. But right now that is not done. So you need to write a overloaded method, or you need to basically accept something called as movie here. Okay, so now whenever you are trying to add a screening, also give me what movie are we trying to speak about. But if you try to take a movie here, the problem will be for everything the movie will be the same. Okay, అప్పుడు నేను ఐడియల్ గా ఇక్కడ మూవీ బిగేసి ఇక్కడ ఇవ్వాలి. So these kind of things. Okay, am I clear on this? Okay, I'm not asking you to write anything like this, but did you understood what I've done? Initially when I was doing all of this, it might okay ఈ దరిద్రం అంతా ఏంటి అనిపించవచ్చు. But now if I want to add one more theater called as Sriramulu, it is very easy for me because I am trying to do the same. That's the whole idea of object-oriented programming. That's how your banking software works. Okay, so that's how your bank systems are basically created over there. And finally what we need to figure out is how do I store it somewhere. So right now nothing is stored, everything is in memory. Okay, so that for that we need to add the persistence levels. Are we clear on this? Yes. Okay, fine, sir. So again I'm trying to tell this is not a very beautiful version of it, but okay version of the thing. So let me try to do git status. Basic ఓకే సార్. ఇది ఇలా చూస్తే అర్థం అవ్వదులేండి, అందుకనే డైరెక్ట్గా ఈ ఫోల్డర్ లింక్ వేస్తాను. మూవీ టికెట్, రైట్. Refer here for rough implementation. Am I clear on this, sir? Yeah. So do we understand the basic object-oriented programming now? Okay. But understand this stuff. Whenever you are trying to write a class should have only one responsibility. Movie and ticket and class రాయకూడదు. Movie class, ticket class. Try to have different classes and ensure that you have responsibilities between them. Okay. And you might not be asked to write classes generally in your DevOps journey in whatever activities which you are trying to do, but when the things become really reusable, then all of this starts making sense. Are you clear on this, sir? Yes. Okay, right. So do we understand the basic objects now? Inheritance, composition. So right now in the movie ticketing software I have not used any inheritance, it was all composition. So if you try to see, theater had screens had sheets. Okay. When I was trying to create a booking had a user information, screen information, and a payment information. So they were all composition by nature. Okay, right. So for example, if I want to create different kinds of stuff, I would have created categories. Okay. So for example, whenever I'm trying to speak with payments, so I'll try to derive that payment class, and then I'll try to create credit card payment, UPI payment, cash, whatever it is. So I can categorize all of that into different things. Okay, right, sir? So do we understand the concept? Do we have public and private in Python? Okay, there is no public and private in Python, but just to give that convention, what is it we'll try to use? We'll try to use single underscores. Whenever you see a method with single underscore, that is considered to be a private method. Method with double underscore is also a private method, but with double underscores you can never call it. That's the basic idea of it. Okay, right, fine. So at this point of time, let us take a break, and then we'll come back and start looking at a problem. And I want different types of applications which exist and what is that we are going to do with respect to that. Because right now, ఎన్నాళ్ళు మనం నేర్చుకున్న programming లో, whatever programming which you have learned so far, our programs cannot remember anything. Once you stop the program and start the program, everything begins from beginning. Okay. So for example, I have done a movie ticket booking. I want to see what are the bookings which I have done earlier. Probably I can do while program is running, but once I stop the program, there is no way, because we have not stored it anywhere. Yeah. So how to solve those problems and what are the options that are available, that is what we'll be discussing. Okay, right. Okay, sir, let us take a break. Vikram, kindly post it on Telegram, sir. If you have any issue with Git, post it on Telegram. That's the only place. Because what you're asking, there are many people who can help you out on that. Okay, right. So right now we know basic constructs of programming. We know how to write functions. We know how to write classes. Now let us just proceed a level up, and then let us start looking at applications. So what are the application types which we would have? On a broader note, okay, we have command line applications. So applications where you try to write some Python code so that whenever you call command line, the code executes. Okay. So for example, one of the easiest command line tool is AWS S3 LS. So this is indirectly you are trying to tell AWS, give me all the S3 buckets. Okay. Azure resource groups. So what these companies have done is, or Azure or Google Cloud or even AWS for that matter, all of that is Python code. So when you execute that command, it will try and interact with your AWS account and then figure out what is present in your account, and it will try to show you the details. Okay. Or ping google.com. This is also a command line application. Okay. So it is taking your inputs and it is trying to show you the outputs in the command line. This is something which is called as command line applications. And then we have desktop or thick client applications. The easiest example of this is the Qt video player which you have installed. Okay. So this you would install on your operating system or on a mobile phone. Even mobile apps come under this category. Okay. So we are not covering this. మీకు ఇంట్రెస్ట్గా ఉంటే పై క్యూటీ అని ఒకటి ఉంటుంది. If you want to start doing stuff, there is something called as spy game. You can create a snake game in Python. Okay. So if you are interested, you can do that. And then web applications, and then web APIs. And again, I am interested in, or we are not covering this. Okay. So our area of interest is around command line applications and web APIs. Okay. So what is a web API? Let me first let me try to command line application. We are clear, right? And desktop or thick client application, we are clear, right? Web application is where you try to write both Python code and JavaScript code to make a website. Okay. But as I said, we are not covering any front end technologies. We are covering only backend. Okay. And then there is a web API. So what is this web API? Right. So let me try to show you this. You all interact with Facebook by logging in this, or you will be basically trying to access Facebook from your app. Am I clear on this? Okay. So whenever any website works, what basically happens is, for any website to work, we'll be basically using it from a browser. And what browsers do is they understand HTML. Browsers understand HTML. So generally, whenever you are accessing any website, okay, for example, I want to access directdevops.blog. You see this, right? Yeah. But indirectly, if you try to see what is happening is, this happens when someone accesses directdevops.blog. Oh, మొత్తం లింక్ తీసుకుందాం. ఏదో డౌన్లోడ్ అయిందా? Yeah. So this whatever is shown over here is HTML plus JavaScript plus CSS, which your browser understands and draws that web page. Since I have executed that from a command line, I am directly seeing the raw text form of it. Any website which you are accessing. So for example, you go google.com. So what is happening? A HTML page is coming that is drawn on your page. So if you want to look into this, just get into developer tools. So are you seeing a lot of things are downloaded? Okay. Now if you try to look into google.com, and then if you try to look into what is the response which you got. So are you seeing the response? So this is actually what your server has sent. Your Chrome browser draws that in a decent form, or any browser for that format. Am I clear on this, sir? Okay. Right. This is fine. But let us assume that I have built our movie booking system. Okay. And I have two types of users. One is users who access from Chrome, and users who access their this from mobile app. The problem with mobile app is, or whenever you're trying to build mobile app or a desktop application, is they don't draw HTML pages. Okay. Initially, when you remember, I'm not sure how many of you remember this, when the mobile started, we used to have every website with m.facebook.com, m.google.com. That was a mobile pages, and you had to use a Chrome based application or browser based applications. Slowly, lot of them have started giving applications. Now what this needs HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And let us assume that I have developed a Python based web application, and generally for developing that, most of the people use Django. Okay. So if you try to look into what is the Python's Django framework, you will come to know that Django is a framework where I can build web-based applications. Okay. But the problem is, what will I do with mobile now? Okay. So whatever code which I have written over here, okay, for running this on a server. Okay. So generally, what is it I'll try to do? I have written a web application. I'll try to take some server, and on that server, I'll be trying to run my Python code. Okay. Now, but for mobiles, what should I do? This was a challenge which everyone had. Okay. Now, this is the point where basic thing which is called as APIs have become popular. The basic concept of API is API also uses HTTP protocol. Okay. Now, advantage of HTTP protocol is anyone can send it. Okay. So, for example, from curl, was I not able to send a HTTP request? Yes. So anyone can send this request. Okay. Now what they have said is, let us not do this. Let us try to break this application into two things. Okay. Movie booking web store. Web store is front end. And then they started building something called as movie booking APIs. Okay. Now what would happen is, whenever you are running a website, this web store will call, and this will call the APIs. In your mobile app, you already have an application. That application will speak with this APIs. Okay. Let it be any format. I can basically start speaking with APIs. Let me show you a simple example of an API. Okay. Fake API. Okay. Right. Let us not worry about all of this. Let me try to basically take this. I got some response. Browser based applications, that is, this application will try to take these kind of APIs, and then they will try to draw in a fancy way, and then they will try to give you back. If it is a mobile application, it will try to deal with this raw data. Since the application is already installed on your mobile phone, it will try to show you wonderfully. So in Swiggy, whenever you are trying to book your food orders, what is happening is, it is calling APIs, and those APIs are responding back. Okay. Now I can call this API from here also. అదే వచ్చిందా? Yeah, this was the basic idea. So let us use the same HTTP protocol, but let us try to build them as API. For that, let us use the built-in concepts of HTTP, because HTTP is a very well-known protocol. It has been into the ages from years. Okay, so now do we understand the basic idea now? Yes. So whenever you are able to use any application from multiple places, for example AWS, I can use it from Chrome, I can use it from command line, I can use it by speaking with writing code. So what would happen when you do any of this? They will go and hit the API, and API actually does the job. Okay, so we will be learning how to write these APIs, and what are these APIs. We'll try to dive a deeper route. But I am not going to do anything which has to do with building front ends and andanga UI ela draw cheyali. Okay, so how to write HTML pages and how to write CSS. Okay, so if you are interested in that, okay, and if you want to learn, try to learn any one of these technologies. Either learn React or AngularJS or Vue.js. ఈ మూడిట్లో ఏది నేర్చుకున్నా మీ ప్రాబ్లం సాల్వ్ అవుతుంది. Okay, so React is basically from Facebook, Angular is from Google, and Vue is from Vue is not from that popular source, but that is also one of the way to build those applications. Earlier we used to use something called as HTML, CSS, JavaScript in the format of something called as jQuery. Okay, nowadays these are the popular formats. Okay, a developer who knows how to build this, and how to speak with databases, he is called as a full stack developer. We are not trying to become a full stack developer, we are trying to become a back-end developer. So our focus will be on building APIs. Okay, now the point is, once I build the API, where can I run it? Okay, once you build an API, there are the places where you can try to run them are, obviously you can run them on some Linux or Windows servers. Okay, and the next thing is you can try to run them on Azure or AWS or GCP PaaS platforms. PaaS platform basically means platform as a service. Here you will be directly getting Python environment, and all you have to do is deploy your Python code and your application will start working. That is called as platform as a service. Otherwise, what is that you need to do? You need to take a Linux machine or a Windows machine, install Python, copy your code, and then ensure that it is running. So that is the first area. Okay, here also you can do the same thing in AWS, Azure or GCP on servers. But the point is, here you are not basically dealing with application, you are dealing with operating systems. ఇక్కడ మీరు కోడ్ ఉంది, కోడ్ తో పాటు ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్ ని కూడా మేనేజ్ చేయాలి. But here if I am dealing with this, I am only dealing with my code. And if I want to take it to the next level, then I'll be dealing with, okay, Docker or Kubernetes. Once I basically try to write this application, I can create a container and run them on. And then there is one more interesting area which we will be also be focusing on. Okay, where is that text? Yeah, that is serverless. So ఒక application run చేయడానికి on a broader note, you have 4 areas. One is server, let it be on the cloud or let it be on on-prem, where you are dealing with an operating system. The second one is PaaS platforms. In PaaS platforms, you get Python. You are not, there is no need for you to manage what is the underlying operating system. That is cloud providers headache. The third one is run them in containers, and the fourth one is make them serverless. Okay, so this I'll try to show you once. Okay, this also I'll try to show once, but our focus will be basically on ideally you should be focusing on these areas, not even this as a DevOps or a cloud engineer. Okay, right. So for example, I have written a Python code which will shut down all the EC2 machines. Where will I run it? I'll run it as a serverless, because that need not be running all the time. So what are these technologies? So this is the area which we need to basically speak about. Am I clear on this, sir? Yes. But when it comes to command line applications, they will be directly installed on your laptops or desktops. Command lines are not for servers. Yes. So we'll start with command line. Okay. Command line is basically, you can use command line on servers also, but the basic idea is command line applications are done where you don't need any UI. Okay. But when you need some kind of user interactions, you'll be building web applications or desktop applications. We are not learning both of them. And then the next one is web APIs. Okay. Most of anything which you speak, there is a API for this. Okay. For example, how is WhatsApp making money when they give everything for free? How? మీరు రోజంతా చెత్త వాగుతుంటే ఫేస్బుక్ వచ్చే ఉపయోగం ఏంటి? నాకు ఒకటి చెప్పండి, వాళ్ళకి ఎలా డబ్బులు వస్తాయి? ఏంటి ట్యాక్సా? యాడ్సా? వాట్సాప్లో యాడ్ చూసారు ఎప్పుడన్నా? ఐ హావ్ నెవర్ సీన్ అన్ యాడ్ ఆన్ వాట్సాప్. హ్యావ్ యూ ఎవర్ సీన్? మరి ఎలా వస్తున్నాయి డబ్బులు వాళ్ళకి? ఓకే, what WhatsApp tries to tell us, for example, you are starting a business, okay, and since WhatsApp has a lot of customer base, now I can use that platform to communicate. Nowadays, are you seeing after you book a red bus ticket, you will immediately see a ticket posted on WhatsApp? Yes. Okay, so that is something which is called as WhatsApp business API. Okay, now over here, if you try to look into it, developers products. So whenever any company wants to basically send a WhatsApp message, they basically charge. And what they do is they basically give you an API. Okay, so if you try to see WhatsApp business API and now here are you seeing Cloud Hope API? And now what I need to do is, for example, I have once you visit Quality Thought, they enter your details, and now I want to send a message to you because you have visited Quality Thought's website or whatever it is, and I want to contact on WhatsApp because these days no one are looking at text messages. Okay, now for that WhatsApp I have to pay to Facebook to basically deliver a message from you from a blue tick. If you want it from a blue tick. And how is that done? I can't try to tell that, okay, my application has now, you have come to my office, I can't assign a person, send a message. Okay, and for example, after you book a red bus ticket, do you expect that someone is typing that message there? No, we want that to be automated. We want the code to generate that. So now code needs to speak with WhatsApp business. How is that done? Again, using an API. Right, so you are receiving SMSs. How do you SMS? Yes, everyone, will they send, every company, do you think the developer will try to write a text message? No. So there are companies like SendGrid. So what they do is they give you APIs for doing campaigns for businesses. Let it be email or SMS APIs. Now what I need to do is I need to create a code which speaks with this SendGrid's API, and then you will be receiving text messages. So whenever you are getting OTPs in any of your application, they are integrated with one of this bulk SMS or bulk email APIs. Okay, HDFC Bank is not interested on sending messages. They will try to outsource this, and that company tries to tell that you can speak with my code with the help of APIs. This is the basic way. The complete world runs on APIs. Okay, clear on this? Yes. Right. How WhatsApp earned money before WhatsApp business? It didn't earn any money. It was charity work to start with. Okay, now Facebook has basically, they had just investments, what do you call, startup investments, venture capitalists. So that's the reason Facebook has purchased it, and they have created a revenue model around it. Okay, right, fine sir. So are you saying every API there will be some costs? Okay, these days running APIs or maintaining APIs is also one of the business. Okay, right. Sorry, saying it tries to tell that if you want to use these APIs, you can 19 $20 per month. How many emails are you sending? I'll be sending 1 lakh emails per month. So what is the cost? Yeah. డబ్బు ఊరికినే రాదా, నేను ఊరికినే అల్లా నిజమే, రైట్, ఫైన్ సార్, ఓకే దెన్. Oh yeah, yes Dilesh, it is Jason. Okay, so let us basically focus on building command line applications. And so when I'm trying to build command line applications, my goal is, okay, to, okay, let me not try to write goals, let me be, because initial examples might not be towards these goals. The goal is to automate any work. Okay, when I'm trying to build web APIs, even ideally as a DevOps engineer, your goal is only basically about what you call automating some activity, but developers will be using it for building applications also. Even the chat GPT which you are using, the chat GPT interface which you type anything, okay, that speaks to the actual machine learning models using again an API. Okay, so every machine learning model has an API, and then anyone can interact, or whoever is supposed to can interact with that with the help of APIs. So APIs are the communication points or the integration points. Clear on this, sir? Yes. Okay, right. So let us try to build command line applications. So for that, from now on, what I'll do is like instruction programs, let me try to create a folder which is called as makedir CLI, and let me get into this CLI, and let me try to create hello CLI. Okay, right, sir. Now I want to build a simple command line application. I want to build a command line application in stuff. What shall we build a command line application? దేనికి బిల్డ్ చేద్దాం? చిన్న చిన్న కోరికలు కోరండి, పెద్ద అడిగితే ఈ భారం అంతా దానికే సరిపోతుంది. వాట్ డూ యూ ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ మీ టు రైట్ ఇన్ ఎ కమాండ్ లైన్ అప్లికేషన్? ఏం చేద్దాం? ఎనీ చాయిసెస్? వద్దా అసలు? ఆపేద్దామా క్లాసు? నాకు నిద్ర వస్తుంది. For what we will try to write? Try to tell a simple statement around, simple stuff around. What should we do? ఏం చేద్దాం? ఆటోమేట్ డైలీ టాస్క్ ఈజ్ అ వెరీ బ్రాడర్ ఏరియా. వాట్ ఆర్ యువర్ డైలీ టాస్క్? అంటే అత్యలు చేస్తామా ఏంటి? Yeah, what are your tasks? That depends the complexity of it, right? Yeah. Pardon me? Shut down system automatically. That why should I do from a Python when there is already shutdown /t అని చెప్తే వెంటనే అయిపోతుంది. When there is a command already available, why should I do it? The activity should also reflect something in what we have learned. That's the reason. Check the stock price if it goes beyond a certain point. Copy files to S3 bucket. Okay. AWS S3 CP. That already does that. Let's build world clock. Okay. I want command line, sir. గడియారాన్ని ఏంటి కమాండ్ లైన్లో చూస్తారా మీరు? కొంచెం చిరాగ్గా అనిపిస్తలా? గడియారాన్ని అందంగా గోడకు చూసుకోవాలి, లేదనుకుంటే వెబ్ పేజ్లో చూసుకోవాలి, మొబైల్ యాప్లో చూసుకోవాలి. Tell me something which is around calculations. because I should not be relying on anything external, because I have not, for example, copying to S3 place, not a problem. But for that, I have to introduce a concept of external packages, which I have not done yet. That's the reason. అందుకే నా చేతులు కట్టేసాను, లేదంటే చాలా ఈజీ, అది మనం చేస్తాం కూడా బై ది వే. రైట్. ఓకే సార్, ఫస్ట్ let us do one thing. It is hello CLI. Print చేద్దాం. So what this CLI function does is, okay, so today all of you have to learn one more thing, sir. Okay, which is markdown format. So markdown format is something which is used for writing documentations. Okay, so మీకు నచ్చింది చూసుకోండి మార్క్డౌన్ లో. యా, ఐఎమ్ జస్ట్ గివింగ్ యూ ఓవర్ హియర్. So markdown is a file which will be used for writing documentations, and these files generally end with .md. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll go over here and then try to create a file which is called as readme.md. Okay, readme can be in any case. Generally you would see people trying to use complete capital case, but readme.md. So over here what I'll try to tell is, whenever I try to use single hash, that means heading 1. Okay, so hello CLI, and then here you are trying to write this program will take name as input and display a greeting message. ఏదో ఒకటి, very simple. So now here I am trying to tell usage. Whenever I am trying to start anything with star, that means it is a bullet point. You can try to write paragraphs also over here. That is what it is trying to tell. Heading H1, H2, H3. Whenever you want to make any text bold, you will try to see star, italic. You will have all of this. It's like writing a Word document, but rather than using buttons, you are using these expressions. Okay, right. And then this can be converted into many forms. Every day you are seeing that I write the similar format for our notes and upload it into the classroom notes. Okay, but in your organizations you will have documentation systems which directly understand markdown. Yeah, right. So how do I use this? Whenever you are trying to write code blocks, you can try to write it, and you can be specific if you want to be anything. So but let me tell that I want to use a bash block. So Python hello.py, and then let this user try to tell that ఎవరి పేరు ఇద్దాం, ఐరన్ మ్యాన్ ఇద్దాం, ఆయనే ఉపయోగపడతాడు మనకి. రైట్. సో దెన్ ద అవుట్పుట్ వుడ్ బి సంథింగ్ లైక్ hello. Simple. Yes. So this is basically what I want to do. Let us start with a very simple application. Okay, now for this what I'll be trying to do is I'll be trying to write a file which is called as hello.py, and since this is some kind of a script, I will always start with shebang, and let me try to Google it. Python shebang. So real Python articles are good, sir, generally. Yeah. ఒకసారి లాగిన్ చేస్తే అయిపోద్ది, ఇంకోసారి అడగరు. Okay, so are you saying user bin python 3? I'll be just writing this all the time. Okay, especially whenever you are trying to run this on a Linux or Mac, it comes very handy. On Windows you don't need this, but that's okay. Right. So over here, if _name is equals to _main, what does this mean? Someone has called this code directly. Okay, and let me try to tell that print hello. ప్రస్తుతానికి హలో అని రాద్దాం, ఇంకా అంతకుమించి ఏం అవసరం. రైట్. ఎనీ ప్రాబ్లమ్ విత్ దిస్, సార్? ఓకే, రైట్. నౌ let me try to type python hello.py and iron man. but it is not considering Iron Man. It is only considering hello. Yeah, but what is it I want? Hello, and after that I want to print the message. So what are these things called as? Those things are called as arguments. Okay. So can you all basically search perplexity or anything for that matter? So how to read arguments passed to the Python program? Please do that. How to read arguments that have been passed to the Python program. What was the Java's first syntax, sir? Java is written public static void main. ఇందులో string array of args అనేది రాస్తాం కదా. So in the world of Java, you get all of your arguments passed over here. So how will I get the same thing in Python? Pardon me? Wonderful. So there is a standard library called as sys. Okay. There is a standard library called as sys. And in standard library, we have a module called as sys. Okay. Now, what is trying to tell us, if you want to get arguments in Python, what you need to do is you need to import something called as sys. Okay. Now, let me just print sys dot argv. అసలు ఇదేంటో చూద్దాం, ఎందుకంటే మన క్లాస్ అంటే ఆబ్జెక్ట్ అంటే ఏంటో తెలుసుగా. సో వాట్ ఈస్ దిస్? argv is list of. Okay, right, sir. Now let me basically try doing this. So it is list of string. So what is the first argument? Name of the file. So what is the second thing? Whatever I have passed after that. So in this case, what is it I need to do? నాకు హలో ఐరన్ మ్యాన్ కావాలంటే ఏం తీసుకోవాలి సార్ అందులో? sys డాట్ argv అని ప్రింట్ చేస్తే లిస్ట్ వచ్చింది. లిస్ట్ లో ఐటమ్లు ఉన్నాయి. ఎన్నో ఐటమ్ తీసుకుంటే నాకు ఐరన్ మ్యాన్ వస్తుంది. ఎన్నోది? సో sys डॉट argv जब मैंने प्रिंट किया वो लिस्ट ऑफ स्ट्रिंग्स था, तो उसने आर्ग्यूमेंट्स प्रिंट किया. अब मुझे कौन सा आर्ग्यूमेंट प्रिंट करना है आयरन मैन नाम चेक के लिए? -1. थैंक यू. राइट. सो let me try to write sys of argv of -1. Okay, right, fine sir. దీని బాధ ఏంటి? డాక్ స్ట్రింగ్. ఓకే ఓకే. This module helps us understand how to build command line applications. You should never write anything which is greater than 80 character length. Go to the next line. Okay, good sir. Now let me try to print. Is there a yeah. So is our program working perfectly? Yes. ఇలా రాసినప్పుడు ఏమవ్వాలి? ఇప్పుడు ఐరన్ మ్యాన్ అని ప్రింట్ చేయాలా, టెస్టింగ్ అని ప్రింట్ చేయాలా? మనం లాస్ట్ -1 అని రాసాం కాబట్టి టెస్టింగ్ ప్రింట్ చేయాలి అనకూడదు కదా. యా. So generally, whenever you are trying to build any command line applications, there might be wrong inputs. You cannot expect that the user gives a right input all the time. So you need to validate those inputs. So what I'll do is, if length of sys dot argv, okay, is equals to 2, then print this. Else print wrong usage. Okay, so what is the correct usage? Python hello.py and name. You are supposed to pass only one argument. Now let us try doing this. Okay. Oh, are you saying it is trying to that you have used the wrong usage? Now, if you want, either do this or do this. My program will not allow more than 2 arguments. Am I clear on this, sir? Okay. So now this is something which we call as validation. And if you try to see, my program has misbehaved earlier. So we were supposed to print Iron Man. It was printing testing. Why? Because I had made user allow any number of arguments which he wants. And later on, I have done this. Okay. Are we clear on this? Okay. Is this a very difficult thing to do? Yes. Okay. Now here, what is that you need to do is, right, this program allows only one argument. Okay. Right. Added. Okay. Now I want you to write a very simple command line application on the similar notes. Okay. So అదేంటి అన్న చూద్దాం ఒక్క నిమిషం. Alright. So what is the first one? Hello CLI. Write a program to say hello by taking only one argument from command line. Okay. So in this case, I will try to write one more application. Okay. So this is add CLI. So write a program to add 2 numbers. So for example, when I try to call Python add.py 1, 2, the result should be 3. Okay. Or the result should be something like 1 plus 2 equals to 3. Can we print this? Okay. మీరు చేస్తారు, నన్ను చేయమంటారు. ఇది కష్టమేమో కదా? యా సార్, ఒకరోజు మీకు అసలు కష్టం అంటే ఏంటో తెలియడానికి ఏదో ఒకటి చేస్తే పోద్ది. ఇది చేయలేకపోతే దయచేసి లెగిసి వెళ్ళిపోండి. రేపు రావద్దు ఈ క్లాసులకి. లిస్ట్లో 2 నెంబర్లు యాడ్ చేయలేము మనం. రైట్. Even if you don't use shebang, the program will still run because we are calling it with Python. But if you want to call the program without using Python, then it needs to be executable, and when it is executable in Linux, it needs to start with a shebang. Okay. Write this program, sir. అసలు అట్లీస్ట్ ట్రై చేస్తాను కూడా ఇష్టపడట్లేదు మీరు. జనరల్గా ఇంట్లో ఏం చెప్పొస్తారు, పొద్దునుండి బాగా కష్టపడి వచ్చాను, ఏమన్నా వండొచ్చు కదా, ఇలాంటివి చెప్తుంటారు. ఇంటికి వెళ్ళి సిగ్గుగా అనిపించదా అలాంటివి అడిగినప్పుడు? మీకైనా నేనే బెటర్ సార్. అసలు మా నాన్న డబ్బులు అడగడానికి ఇష్టం లేక, సిగరెట్లు డబ్బులు అడగడానికి ఇష్టం లేక పాఠాలు చెప్తూ మొదలెట్టాను. అది వాళ్ళకి ఉపయోగపడుతుంది. ట్రై దిస్ సార్. సో ఆల్ యూ have to do is sys.argv will give you list. Now in that list you need to ensure that you are adding numbers. Try doing that. People on the web, are we trying this, sir? And by the way, writing command line applications is expected from every DevOps engineer these days. If you don't trust me, try to look into every job description. They will try to tell that I need people who are good with bash and python, bash or python. అంటే ఏంటి? ఇలా అడిగినప్పుడు మౌమాటంగా నవ్వటమా? రైట్. Good, sir. How many of you have done this? Okay. cd dot dot make dir. I'll call it as calculator, or let me try to add itself. We'll do a better program than that. Okay. So cd add. I'm not writing readme.md, but I expect you to write readme.md. So what is that I have create said? I want add dot py, and if double underscore named under name is equivalent to, so import sys. Okay, right. Now sys dot argv. Okay, right, sir. Now for example, if I want basically sys dot argv of is not equal to 3, because you have to give 3 arguments exactly. That is what this program is about. So print wrong usage. So what is that you need to write? Python add.py number 1 and number 2, and then sys.exit of 1. Whenever you try to exit by giving anything other than 0, that means it is a program has not executed correctly. Written code is wrong. Okay, right. నేను ఎల్స్ రాసిన రాయకపోయినా నష్టం లేదు, ఎందుకంటే అక్కడికి వెళ్తే ఎగ్జిట్ అయిపోతుంది ప్రోగ్రామ్. Now let me basically come over here. So what is it I need? I need 2 values. So number 1 is equals to sys dot argv of 1. Number 2 is equals to sys dot argv of 2. Now print f, okay, num1 plus num2 is equals to, antena? So num1 has value and num2 has value 2. Do you think this program will work? డీబగ్ చేశారు కదా సార్, పని చేద్దా పని చేయలేదు? నాకైతే అందులో తప్పులేం కనబడట్లేదు, మీకు ఏమైనా కనబడుతున్నాయా? యా, ఓకే, రైట్. సో python add dot py 1 and 2 ఏమొచ్చింది? 1 plus 2 12. Why is this happening? Whenever you are trying to take sys.argv, it will always give you string. So what is that we are trying to do? We are trying to deal with integers. So you need to do this. అయిపోయిందా? Right, that's where debugging is important, sir. So whenever you want to debug these kind of programs, go over here, and then there will be something called as run add configuration. So try to add configuration, select Python debugger. Come on. Okay, so Python file with arguments, that is what we are passing. Now over here, Python file, and then pick arguments. So what are the arguments which I shall write? So this is a file, and then let me try to pass the argument of 1 comma pick arguments అంటే అడుగుతాడేమో, మనమే అనవసరంగా ఎందుకు అడుగుదాం. Let us try to put a break point over here. Then it is asking what are the arguments which you want to pass. I want to pass 1 comma 2. Now length of sys arc v ఏమొచ్చింది, length of sys arc v. Oh, ఆగండి, let me try to debug. Enter the command line arguments to pass. Press enter to confirm you want to pass. Okay, that is all taking as one argument, sir. That's the problem. ఎందుకులేండి మనకి ఈ కవిత్వం అవసరం లేదు. Here pass 1 and pass 2. That means that I'm passing 1 and 2 to this program. Now you go over here and then try taking this. Okay, now how many arguments do I have? 3 arguments. Okay, right. Now if you try to look into sys.argv of 1, what is argv of 1? What is the type of it? It is in quotes. Anything which is in quotes is a string. Are we doing string additions? No, we are trying to do number stuff. That's the reason I had to typecast that into integer. I had to convert that into integer. That's how it worked. Am I clear on this, sir? Yeah. So now, or else what I can do is, do we have something like sys dot argv of 1, which is a string, dot is numeric. Okay, and sys dot argv of 1 dot is numeric. If you want, you can add these conditions. If they are not numeric, throw an error saying that you are supposed to pass numbers, because some user might pass hello dot add dot py a comma b. You are not adding a and b, you are adding only numbers. So you have to add this condition also. Okay, so whenever you are trying to write code, you have to write all the guarding conditions. Whenever user makes any mistake, you have to tell that that is a mistake. So are we clear on this, sir? Yes. Okay, fine then. ఈ చిన్న ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఎందుకంటే పెద్ద చేద్దాం నెక్స్ట్. సో this module adds 2 numbers. Okay, okay sir. Refer here for okay. Now let us assume that my program takes 10 arguments. Trying to check conditions for every 10 arguments, is it difficult or easy? So it takes 10 arguments. Is it easy or difficult? Okay, so let me try to show you some command line examples. Some command line examples. So for example, Ansible hyphen playbook hyphen I or hyphen inventory host test dot YAML. So this is also a command line application, and Ansible is written in Python itself. So what is he trying to tell? He is writing a command line application where he is trying to take arguments. But if you remember arguments, there are two types of arguments, positional and keyword arguments. Okay, so let me try to use this something like, okay, let me do this. Add hyphen hyphen number 1 is 10 hyphen hyphen, okay, number is 10 and hyphen hyphen number 2 is 20. Okay, right. So this is one way of writing command line application. So, or I can try to write add 10 and 20. So this is something which are called as positional arguments. So these are something which are called as keyword arguments. Okay. So right now, if I want to process this keyword arguments, how should I do that? That is something which we need to learn. But let us not try to learn this just for the sake of learning. Let us try to build some applications. So the application which I want to build is password generator or password manager. Okay, right. Now to this password manager, what I want to do is, okay, user should be passing number of digits. Okay, so for example, he should be passing something like, okay, something like p manager, some password manager, hyphen hyphen length of 16. So then it should generate a 16-digit random password. Okay, now then he might basically try to tell that hyphen hyphen include special characters. So what are the special characters which you want to include? Okay, or do you want to include special characters or not? Okay, and then hyphen hyphen include digits. Okay, so ఇలా పాస్ చేస్తే అది మనకు 16 డిజిట్ల random password ఇవ్వాలి. This is what I want to build. Okay, then the next thing what I'll try to do is I want to generate and save this password. Okay, so ideally first I want to do this, and then what I'll be trying to do is password manager generate. Okay, and then I'll be trying to do this. It should be able to generate, and then password manager. Okay, while I'm generating, so I'll try to tell this is the version 1 application తెలియాలి కదా. First version 1. In version 1 మనకి ఇన్ని తెలియదేట్లు కూడా అవసరం లేదు. If the user passes the length, okay, then it should generate a random password. Then version 2. So now the user should have an option password manager hyphen hyphen length 16 hyphen hyphen include, okay, special characters. So include special characters such as @ star underscore. Okay, ఈ మూడు కూడా పాస్వర్డ్ లో యాడ్ చేయండి, లేదంటే హ్యాష్, whatever it is. Now whatever are the special characters which you want to include. Okay, right. So this is something which I want to do as a version 2. So then I'll try to add a third version where I want to do is, okay, first generate password. Second version, give user some options for including. special characters and special characters చాలండి ప్రస్తుతానికి version. Okay, give option for user to generate password and provide, okay, save and service name. So what I want to do is I want to generate something like password manager generate hyphen service. So this is for my Gmail. Okay, and then I'll basically try to tell that hyphen length is 12, and then possibly I'll be trying to do include special. Okay, right. ఈ రెండు స్పెషల్ క్యారెక్టర్లు వాడితే చాలు అనుకో, రైట్. ఓకే, version 4, start saving passwords to a file. So whenever you are trying to generate, you should be saving passwords to a file. Over here, once you generate passwords to a file, what should happen is, once the user generates a service, he should be able to password manager retrieve hyphen service Gmail. అంటే ఒకసారి జనరేట్ చేసిన తర్వాత రిట్రీవ్ అంటే మీరు సేవ్ చేసిన పాస్వర్డ్ వచ్చేయాలి. ఓకే, రైట్. సేవ్ passwords to a text file, and then version 5, save passwords to an encrypted file. If this file should not be a text file is ఎవడన్నా ఓపెన్ చేసి చూస్తారు పాస్వర్డ్. So even if he opens, nothing should work out. Okay, save passwords to a encrypted file. So here things will be the same, but the user has to give one more thing, which is hyphen secret, whatever your secret is. My secret is, let us assume, India 123. So while retrieving also, it should ask for the secret. Okay, generally you should not be writing secrets in this plain text format, but I'm just trying to give you a rough hint. Okay, so while retrieving also, try to take secret. Okay, ఇప్పుడు నేను చేసిన దాన్ని ఏమంటారు? ఈ ప్రోగ్రామ్ ని అద్భుతంగా చేసి క్లౌడ్ లో పడేస్తే AWS దీన్ని సీక్రెట్స్ మేనేజర్ అంటది, Azure దీన్ని key vault అంటది. So if you try to write this program, store it on the cloud and give wonderful security around it. So this program is something which is considered as vault. So whenever you try to come across HashiCorp vault, Azure key vault services, AWS secrets manager, these do exactly same thing. And here we are only generating and saving passwords. There they will give you options to save tokens, save keys, so that your credentials are protected. Am I clear on this, sir? Did you understood this program? Yeah. So ఇలాంటి ప్రోగ్రామ్ డెవలప్ చేద్దామా? ఎస్. ఓకే, డెవలప్ చేద్దామా అంటే మీరు చేయాలి. డెవలప్ చేద్దామంటే తల ఊపడం వరకు ఆపేస్తాం కాదు. ఓకే, రైట్. సో for this, what I want is, I'll give you some activities, sir. Okay, today just go through them. Okay, references, okay, or exercises. Try going through the following. First is, try to go through something called as argument parser. Okay, try to basically, మీరు పెద్ద ఎక్కువ ఏం చేయని అవసరం లేదు. Go to, where is perplexity? Go to Perplexity AI. Okay. How to use uh, how to use argument parser in Python. Okay. Try to read some documentation around it. Okay. And the next one is how to read, write, and append files in Python. We will be trying all of this. ఈ రెండు రేపు మనం చేద్దాం. కానీ రేపు నేను చేసే ముందు మీరు చూసుకొస్తే ఇంకొంచెం బెటర్గా చేయొచ్చు. So before coming to the tomorrow's class, if you spend some time on those areas, because what I'll be trying to do is I'll be trying to use the argument parser and this, and for that I'll be using object-oriented stuff. So password generator will be a class which will have some methods, okay, where it will try to take some options saying that what are the digits which you want to include, what are the alphabets which you want to include. We'll be trying to do that. Are we clear on this? Yes. Okay. Okay, let me tell you one program which I used to have earlier, but somehow I lost it when I moved from one laptop to other laptop. For example, okay, let me try to take one image. Okay, ఈ image తీసుకుందాం. So if you read this image, sir, you will have many bits of data. Yes or no? Yes. So in every bit, you will have RGB, red, blue, and green. That is something which we call as pixel. Okay. So generally, whenever you try to look into colors, each position will have three values: R, G, B, red, green, and blue. Every color in the world can be formed by those three colors. I have also written a password manager like this. What we used to do is, we used to have generate password and ఒక image upload చేసేవాళ్ళం. అది పాస్వర్డ్ ని అప్డేట్ చేసి ఇందులో లాస్ట్ ఫ్యూ పిక్సెల్స్ ఉంటాయి కదా, ఇన్ లాస్ట్ ఫ్యూ పిక్సెల్స్ ఇట్ యూస్ టు స్టోర్ ద పాస్వర్డ్. And whenever I want to recover the password, all I had to do was upload the image. Generally, looking at image, no one will make out that there is some password that is stored inside. You can do fancy and ఇంకా ఆ పిచ్చ మీ ఇష్టం, right? You can take it to any amount of numbers because all of this is binary data. All you have to do is convert your number into binary and then store it in some RGB positions. And ఈ ఇమేజ్ లో మార్పులు కూడా ఏమి వచ్చేవి. మీరు చేసిన 16 డిజిట్ల పాస్వర్డ్ కి but the image will not change, but you have to store that image, and then you need to upload that image and you will get the passwords. Okay, this is something which we have done long back because remembering passwords was becoming difficult. Okay, and in the same time writing all the passwords in a notepad is also not a safe idea. So this is what we have implemented, and this is something which we have shared across some of our employees, and they started using it. It was wonderful because at this point of time we didn't had Google Chrome didn't used to remember passwords. You had to type them all the time. Very early days of browsers. Okay, right. Generate and retrieve need to be in it. No, I'll be trying to write one command line application, right? So when AWS can write all the AWS CLI as one program, ఇది నేను ఇది రాయలేనా? Yeah. KeePass is a free version of it. They are more secure, sir. So for example, here I'm giving text as a stuff. There they might take keys. They will give you very fancy options. మనం అంత ధనికమైన ఆలోచనలు కాకపోయినా దారిద్ర రేఖకి దగ్గరలో చేద్దాం. Okay, so we are trying to write our code somewhere near poverty line. Okay, so if you take it to the next level, that becomes vault. Yeah, right. Fine, sir. So I'll stop it at that. Okay, so what is that we'll be trying to do in the next session? Building a command line application. For that I'll be using a parser, and we need to understand file management. So these are the two topics which we'll be learning in the next session. And also one more thing, while doing this we will try to understand the importance of unit testing. Okay, so how can you test the code whatever you are writing as a developer? Because for all the people who have at least written one CI/CD pipeline, we will try to call MVN test, and then we will try to generate code coverage report. So we will, for whatever code which we are trying to write, let us also try to evaluate all of that. Okay, fine, sir. Okay, but kindly go through those two areas and come. Just see what an argument parser is, and how to write and read files in Python, because we can dive a little bit deeper. Yeah. Okay, sir. Notes will uploaded. Thank you.